There are millions of dollars in treasure all across America. And if you watched our last video or our first video, you may have no clue because we did a poor job explaining that. But we're going to tell you today about how to find millions of dollars worth of treasure with this single book, There's Treasure Inside by John Collins Black. I'm Emma.
I'm Jam.
And we are Treasure Hunt with Us.
That's right.
So we had a little bit of feedback at comments at Treasure Hunt with Us, and it turns out our very first video, we had some great, responses, and some people had some really awesome feedback. But one of those feedbacks was, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's the one we got a lot. Was like, "This sounds amazing. What the heck is there's treasure inside?" And
yeah, they're like, "Why are you treasure hunting? Whose money is this?"
Yeah, what? How much money's out there? A couple grand? No, millions and millions. And it grows every day. So.
Well, and so we wanted to take a minute and kind of break down what it is we're reading, what it is we're doing, why we're doing it, and talk about all the
and why
fun.
You should join us.
Absolutely. Listen, I have to tell you, I never thought I was going to be one of those Discord people. I never thought I was going to be one of those, I want to be on YouTube. I didn't necessarily want to be on YouTube, but I recognized quickly when I was talking to Jam is that, listen, this is fun. This is great. And this is opportunity. We always talk about how we grew up playing games. We were big game players our whole life. I talked in the first video about how we used to make maps all the time to confuse people. They're like, "Why do they need a map? Why are they getting lost?
Why are they burying stuff in their backyard?"
Yeah, in their backyard. Yeah, but here's the thing: is we were always those kids looking to have fun, using our imagination. And when we found out about this treasure hunt, one of the things we recognized is it was an opportunity to take some of our skill set that we grew up with, and maybe a little bit of technology, spend quality time together, and find millions of dollars worth of treasure. Because, like almost all treasure hunters, we believe we will be the ones.
Yeah, and the best part of it is how much time we're spending together as a family and stuff like that. Again, as we said in our very first episode, she is on the East Coast, I am on the West Coast, and this has just been a tremendous amount of back and forth, looking at clues, going, "Oh my gosh, I just found something. You need to get onto my phone right now."
The number of pictures of words I don't know, or little random pictures. Does this look what it like to you? To me? And it's like, well, no, but, or yeah, oh my gosh. And then these aha moments, or when you're listening to something and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This is a clue."
Best part.
Especially when they're wrong, and then we have to laugh about it.
Yes.
Like when we were working on the Pokemon box, and I thought it was, what was it, where locals like to pop, or where locals pop up from time to time, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's a campground, it's tense." Yeah. Except it doesn't say pop up. It turns out words are important. They say
turn up is like, "Hey, let's get turned up." So I'm looking at like concerts, bars, now.
Yeah,
where
not
you get
me. I'm going
up.
to a campground apparently because I'm
where you getting turned up? You got to get turned up. So
well, but the reality is, I was listening to a podcast when somebody else used those words, and all of a sudden it like blew my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, popped up? It's a it's in alignment with this. You got to love a little bit of confirmation bias, but what I realized is that I was listening to those words in that single moment. In that single moment, somebody was able to pull me another direction because I heard what I wanted to hear, which is kind of crazy. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on with this book. We talked about why we're treasure hunting, but let's talk about a little bit what John Collins Black is doing. So he wrote this book. Yes. There's treasure inside, and so far the hardest part, Jam, has been
getting the book. So don't expect it quickly unless you get lucky and find it at Borders. Right? Or Barnes and Nobles?
Barnes and Nobles. I bought 2 at Barnes and Nobles.
Yes. Yes. Amazon, good luck. It's weeks. It's weeks, maybe months. So I like your little thumbs up.
I'm really proud of it.
I know, yeah. That was John Collins Black. Yeah. That's right. Get it from Amazon.
He's like, all these places.
These places. They've had to order 100,000 more books because it's been so back ordered.
Right.
You know what I mean? So go get it, because what you're looking for are 5 treasures that he's scattered across the United States. So when you say, "Yeah, but can I play? I'm on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in the North. I'm in the South." There's 1 in 10 states has a treasure. There's no 2 treasures in the same state. So.
Right. So it's not like they're all going to be in North Carolina just because he was born here and there's an Appalachian footpath and there's all of these. It's not, although I will tell you, Jam does think all the books are in California, or all the treasures are in California.
They
Although
could
at this point
be.
the books are a treasure, but
They
you
could
know,
be.
all
Someone
of them.
said it was in Tamales. Someone emailed me and messaged me, bruh, I found it in Tamales. And
Yeah,
I went to Tamales and there's nothing there. So
there's nothing there.
there was
None
no
at all.
tree. I couldn't find the tree. So
Yeah. So
yeah, so these treasures, he's so smart. I mean, John Collins Black, first of all, this treasure hunt has been so much fun. It's been so challenging and so much things, but he picked items that will do nothing but go up in value. You know, he's picked, what's it called? Fabergé eggs, or eggs. Fabergé, yeah, Fabergé frogs and stuff like that that will go up. Jackie Onassis necklaces and stuff. Bitcoin, obviously, right? There's a multiple Bitcoin.
the Bitcoin. And
Charizard cards.
It's a collection. It's a collection Bitcoin, so it's not even like traditional. So what you see, you know, on your Robin Hood or maybe your Charles Schwab, it's not the value of the Bitcoin that he has buried with his treasures or out there in his treasures, because they're specialty Bitcoin, so they actually have additional value beyond that.
Additional value, minimum 20,000 probably. But he tried to get different stuff. He's got Michael Jordan cards for people that like to collect cards. He's got Pokemon cards.
I'm really about George Washington's jelly glass. I'm not really sure what
they
that
got
means.
a moon rock. They got a moon rock.
Dude, they have a gold medal, like an Olympic
true.
gold. They have chunks of gold.
If we find that, I'm keeping that. I'm just gonna wear that around town all day. Did
like,
where'd you win?
high quality.
I won long distance running. Can't you tell? High jump. Hello.
Well, she's got the arms like this. I'm gonna say mine was figure skating if I win it.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's some tremendous treasures which obviously have monetary value, but imagine the value of saying that like you were able to decipher something like this. Because I'm going to tell you, I generally think I'm a relatively smart cookie, and there's been moments in the last few weeks where I'm like, am I that dumb? Am I that dumb? Is this fake blonde hair real? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely been a challenge, and it's a lot of fun. So we recommend everybody to first do the hardest treasure hunt, which is find the book. Right. Get the book.
Step one, the book.
Yeah. Get involved. There's a ton of videos
step
out.
There's a ton of videos, but step two, when you get the book, read the book.
That's
I actually talked to someone the other day on Discord who told me he only read one chapter so far because he doesn't think he's going to waste his time. I'm not going to waste my time, was his words, reading the other chapters. I'm just going to focus on this single treasure. And I'm like, well, I'm not saying you can't do that, because the way JCB has set it up is the book itself, the whole book contains clues to the lion's share, the biggest and most valuable of all of the treasures.
Right.
Additionally, there's 4 chapters for a past and futures book, a Forrest Fenn book, which is a tribute to the Forrest Fenn treasure that he himself searched for and actually put a olive jar, which we'll talk about that, Calazar and K-Pro, we were on last night when you had your breaking news that there is something great to be found, that there is a second poem inside the olive jar. We were listening last night. I was almost in bed. I was in bed, almost asleep, and all of a sudden I said, we're going live. I'm like, oh my gosh, a box has been found.
I know. I was like,
no! My Jam, get up, whatever you're doing.
It's like your worst nightmare, but it's also, if a box is found, it's going to make finding the other boxes so much easier. Where did you find that? Oh my gosh, so how did the clues make sense to that? Well, now I know how he delivers clues. So the first box found is going to help you so much find the second box.
Right. So those are 2 of the boxes. The third box is going to be the Pokemon box. I'm actually boots on the ground this weekend going to search in one of my locations for the Pokemon box. I know, can you believe it's here already? It's so fast.
Yes.
So we have, oh my gosh, I've lost track. Okay, so we have Past and Future, Forrest Fenn, Pokemon. We have the Appalachian Footpath.
That's 4, and then the lion's share.
And then the lion's share. That is 5 treasures. So, scattered amongst all those treasures is really millions of dollars. And I would say, to your point, Jim, every day the value of each of those treasures adjusts.
It does. It goes up, and especially if he thinks it will take 7 years to solve, by 7 years, the lion's share box, if that's the last one to be found, will be worth millions and millions and millions.
Right.
So especially if it has a Bitcoin in there, as Bitcoin continues to go up, that could be worth millions by the time it goes. Bitcoin's doing nothing but skyrocketing. So.
Right. Exactly. So some things to take into account. Like we said, buy a book. read the book. Because even though, like I said, was talking about the guy who's reading only a single chapter, and the 4 smaller chapters are all the clues you need to find that box is in that chapter. But the first instruction he gives in almost all of his interviews is read the book. The first instruction he gives when you open the book and start reading it says read the whole book. Open it up, read it again, the whole book.
It helps. It helps trying to figure out the clues for the other ones when you see how he writes. If you just read your one little chapter, you're just gonna be like, oh, this chapter
when
about
you miss
Pokemon.
It,
yeah,
and you'll find themes. You'll find themes throughout the entire book, and
like the amount of times he'll use the word joy and the amount of
circle. The number of times you're in a circle, you've never circled this much in your whole life. Circle back or circled in general. You've been
square.
Yeah. No, there's no squares. Yeah. There's no squares.
It's in the site of the word search.
That's true. It's in the word search. But that said, there's certain things that we would say. So after that, I'm going to tell you, go out and watch as much YouTube and podcasts and Spotify as you can. So
watch us. We are going to have the app trail. What's it called? We're going to be delayed a little bit on that because we are boots on the ground, which is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to film little clips of it and stuff like that.
I got a couple of items. I have a GoPro. I'm gonna video the whole thing. I'm sure everybody would be delighted to watch my high quality hiking techniques.
Yeah, we'll probably
also known as not sliding down the hill.
We'll chop it
up.
Fun
little story.
You will fall down the hill.
I will. Well, let me tell you something so you can laugh at me just a little bit. So
I love that. Yeah.
I didn't have any hiking boots. So this last weekend, I went to REI and I'm like, hey, I'm going on a hike. And the guy's like, tell me about your hike. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, he's like, are you hiking in the cold or the heat? I'm like, dude, I'm going to be in the United States. It's freezing everywhere. He's like, you could be going international. He's so good point. Like, what was I thinking? So I'm like, so I'll be, I mean, it happens. Obviously it's the question he asked, but anyway, so I'm like, hey, listen, I need something. I want to buy a boot that I can wear right now when it's cold and also in the summer, because I suspect that while this would be the only hiking boots I currently own, if this doesn't take 10 years, it may be the only, if it goes up in a year or two, it may be the only pair of hiking boots I ever own. He's like, okay, got you. And he thinks about it for a second and he leaves and he comes back with these 2 pairs. I try them on. I'm walking around. I'm like, okay, I'll just take these ones. And
he goes, cute ones. I bet you any amount of money you pick the cute ones.
Actually, I will tell you, I thought the other boots were cuter, but they were warmer. My concern was I can always add foot warmers. He told me all about these foot warmer things. I can always add those to a colder boot, but I cannot make a hot boot cool in the summer. So that was my rationale. So I'm like, I'm just going to take these ones. He goes, you haven't even tried the rock. And I'm like, the what?
He made you do the rock wall?
The rock. There's a rock over there. So you can practice walking down a hill in your hiking boots to see if your heel moves around. You don't want to get blisters on a hike. And I got to tell you.
That's true.
He's right. I don't want to get blisters.
I don't want to get blisters.
My PhD in my soul. And so I'm like, okay. And so I walk over there and I'm like, I go up on the rock and I'm like, I walk up and I'm like, what to do? And I walk down. He's like, did your heel move around? I'm like, it did move around a tiny bit. And I'm one of those people, I'm like, do you have any socks that go with these boots? Because I don't know if anybody else has tried these on before. He's like, you're wearing socks. I'm like, yeah, but these are Nike socks and I wouldn't wear these hiking. And he's like, yeah, I get these ones. He's like, it's going to be cold, blah, blah, blah. So I put the socks on. I put the boots on. I walk down the hill. I'm like, yeah, my heel was moving around. He goes, disgusted.
Yeah.
Who tied your shoes? And I'm like, I tied my own shoes. He's
Clearly
like,
not.
He gets down on one knee. He gets down on one knee. And I don't know, jail, prison ties my shoes so the shoe is never coming off. It was like, he's like, one must tie our shoes properly when one is going hiking. Because if you do not tie your shoes properly, you most certainly will get blisters or worse, you'll break an ankle. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's so serious about his hiking. So I'm going to tell you.
He's a genius, though.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I got to tell you, those shoes would not have come off.
Yeah.
You could have pulled and ripped. You would not get those shoes off. I wasn't sure they were going to actually untie. That's how tight it was. And he's like, can you feel your toes? I'm like, yeah. He goes,
I can't feel my legs. You've tied it so tight. I'm like, I can't feel anything.
And I'm like, well, thank you. I wasn't aware I was tying shoes wrong this whole time. And he goes, you'd be amazed how often don't tie their shoes properly.
I wouldn't be amazed, yes.
So that was my experience with buying hiking boots. But I will
Yeah.
tell you, you need equipment. And so I went and got some equipment. I got hiking boots. I have a pack. I have a bright orange poncho because even though where I'm going, I'm told is no hunting. I don't want to get shot. I'm not going to risk it. It's not
Don't
worth
get
risking it.
shot. Yeah.
And it's a poncho, so if it rains, I can do, it does double duty, right? I can protect myself. So I got my GoPro. It's important to me that you guys get to follow along when we go down this trail and look around, and I want you to be able to see what I'm going to see. So I got this cute little vest. It's not cute. It's like a black like safety harness. So the GoPro will be right in front. You'll get to walk down the trail with me. We will post. We could post if you guys want. You can let us know. I'm saving all the best hiking bits and
Yes.
only posting those because if something is funny, you're going to see it. Because if I can't make fun of myself, who's going to make fun of me? Nobody. So I got all that. I got walking sticks. I got what I call it a rape whistle. You're not allowed to call it a rape whistle at REI. It's apparently a compass whistle. And if you call it a rape whistle, it offends them. I'm learning all kinds of rules about things you do say and don't say at the REI. And it's not very nice for me to take it so lightly. And it's not that I'm taking it lightly. I'm like, oh, rape whistle. Because I see a whistle like that and I just assume that's what it's for. And the guy goes to me, who's raping you? A bear? Do you have bear spray? I'm like, it's the winter. The bears are sleeping. He goes, where are you going? I'm like, are you trying to steal my treasure box?
He is. He's trying to take your
He
soul.
tried to take my treasure box. No, I
Brilliant.
did tell him the area where I was going, and he told me I would be safe. We talked through it. I bought some maps. I cannot tell you how many maps I own. I have so many maps at this point. National Geographic. I may be buying stock in you soon. But so these are all the kinds of things you're going to need. So when we're boots on ground, maybe I'll make like a little quick short video so you can see all the things that are going into my hiking backpack. I was with our friend John and we're walking out and I'm like, do I need these little energy things? He goes, I don't know. How do you even use this? I'm like, I assume it's like this. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm powering down. Where's my energies? Pop a few energies. You're like, I got the rest of this hike.
Yes.
I'm sure that's what it is, right? So,
It's the only way.
got those just in case I had to have the energy bites.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. So those are the kinds of things. We'll make a quick video about that. But most importantly, we want you guys to know that you're going to read this book. You're going to start to really use your mind. Like I actually had to read. There's another book you can read too that John wrote, or JCB wrote, a children's book that's got a couple additional clues. But I had to read. By read, I mean listen to Audible because I work all day long, and so I played it. I had to read Ready Player One because
Great book.
all I'd ever seen. Amazing. But
a
all I
great
had ever
book,
seen was a
yeah.
movie. I didn't realize that it was so vastly different than the movie itself.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, and I'm sure Jam, you'll agree with me, there are some things that I have picked up on because of the book while reading this JCB's book, because I wasn't thinking that way. And it really adjusted and started changing the way I was thinking about this whole process in and of itself. Because Ready Player One was really a big treasure hunt for an Easter egg. And that story was so fantastic. I do debate, though. Did I prefer the movie or did I prefer the book? Because I do think they're completely different stories.
The movie's insane. The book is a billion times better. And the movie's
book
great.
is tremendous, but it's completely different stories.
It
is completely different stories. And I had no clue. No clue. So I would say this. You're going to read the book. You're going to buy the book. You're going to read the book. You're going to go online. You're going to watch the
You
videos.
haven't even read Ready Player 2, which you need to read now, too.
I actually downloaded it for the drive back.
Ready Player 1.
It's not as good.
That's true, yeah. It's not as good.
Is it Ready Player One?
Was just brilliant.
It's not as good.
Yeah. I mean, I like Ernest
It
Cline.
really was brilliant.
Armada's really great,
just,
too.
That's...
So, it's a great book.
What is? You read Armada? Oh, I didn't get that one. But
so good.
But I will say this, Ready Player One is referenced in the Past and Future box, so it was really important that I feel like when you're given a clue and you're given a key, you have to understand how those keys work. And you're going to start to read through this. And that's why we make the point about jumping on YouTube and watching all the videos, because I've watched all of Calazar's and Capro's videos, and I think you have as well. The unofficial podcast. What a different
Estes
way.
Quests, Mysterious
it's
Writings.
But I will say this about the unofficial podcast.
Dr. Krypton. I watch everything. So.
I did. I think did I send you the thing? I learned new words today. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like Jim and learned a new word. And so I had to call and tell him about that. But I will tell you, it's like, it's so insane how like you're like, we talk about confirmation bias all the time, and actually Jam has a word that he's going to coin. Go ahead and tell them about it.
Yeah, it's actually location bias. If you're in
Mm-hmm.
a location, you are going to make every clue fit your location, which is why people are like, it's not in Vermont. There's a wisp of smoke. It has to be the Smoky Mountain. It's in Tennessee and stuff because that's your location bias. So,
100%. 100%. Every box, California. Just ask him.
that's what I was going to say. I am location biased too, which
That's
is
okay.
why I'm doing boots on the ground multiple times this next month. I'll be going to a place I know where it's not at, but it will be a beautiful hike with my wife and a place where I think it's at. So that will be later this month too. We'll try to record some of that and give you little clips or maybe even show you the whole thing. So
Right.
it'll be a lot of fun.
I'll be out in March, and so I'm trying to get him to go look at another place we think it might be in March.
If I don't find it, I might find it.
If he doesn't find
it might be in
it.
Tamales, so I need to go check Tamales.
I mean, what is that? A 25-minute drive? I mean, that's location bias at its best.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
my man Dave thinks it's there. It's already been found, and it's what's it called? So
well, and we for those of you who are relatively new to our channel, you didn't see our video. We talked about like that no boxes have been found, and go to JCB's website.
Yeah.
Register and like you'll get the emails. He's going to announce it. If something happens, he's going to announce it. We talked about following Calzar and Capro. So they said if they get news before anybody else, they're going to go live. They're going to announce it. If we get the news and nobody else has gotten it with all of our vast connections, each other, we'll go live. We'll tell you about it too. We'll find it ourselves. We'll go live. We'll tell you about it too.
We will tell you about it. We will tell you all about where we found it, how we solved it, and that will help solve the other boxes.
Absolutely.
Stuff, we believe in sharing information because if you don't share information, then you're hurting everybody. We want these to be found, and as soon as someone finds a box,
if you found it, feel free to tell us too.
Founds it,
let us know.
One time, if someone founds it, they're going to tell us.
They're going to tell us.
Yeah.
No, but this opportunity, and so as I was saying, go ahead and jump on and join the Discord groups because I'm going to tell you I don't even know how I ended up in like this like chat that people were in. At first I'm just like listening, like, oh, look at me, I'm a secret listening girl. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, I read that too. And all of a sudden I start having these conversations and a dialogue with
so
great
nice
people, strangers all over the world, or at least all over the US. And but they're fantastic people who have been so fun, and you got to be part of this community that I didn't even realize would be something I would enjoy. And I've got, because of that, I've watched a few different podcasts I didn't even know were out there. Mm-hmm. I've listened to different, the American History podcast. I mean, I knew about it, and I'm really excited that third one should drop soon, that third episode, and it may have dropped. I checked twice today and I didn't see it, but I'm hoping it drops today or tomorrow. But there's just a community out there. It's such an opportunity to be part of something so much bigger. I know you'll be surprised by this. We're not young. We're not young. We're of a generation.
Allegedly.
So. I got a new driver's license today in the mail. It's proof I'm not young. But that said, it's like, we're Gen Xers. We've done a lot of time at work. This opportunity to have a hobby that can make us money. Yeah. To have a hobby that can give us family time. To have a hobby that's hilarious and fun. We're not joking. When we said there's millions of dollars across the country, there are millions of dollars across the country.
So that's what our video is about. When we say come treasure hunt with us, we're going to hunt lots of treasures. But right now, this is the biggest treasure hunt that I've ever even heard of. Millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars. Of treasure across the United States so that everybody has a chance.
5 boxes.
That's what our videos are about.
In a small area.
Join us.
Forest Bend was all in that one location. Yeah. New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. It was a single box, I think, of 1.2 million.
Yellowstone. It's in Yellowstone, private property, so not good. These are on public property, so let's go find them.
Let's go find them. So, for those of you that it's your first time here, now you know exactly what we're talking about.
That is what there's treasure inside. This is what all our videos will be on. We are going to try to help ourselves and help you find these boxes. And if you find it because of something we've said, you don't even have to give us anything, but give us a heads up where you found it.
Tell us about it.
Tell us about us. Let us know. Come on a show with us. We will interview you and be like, this is the finder.
We have experts. We do. We'll have an expert in our next video.
We will.
We're not. Yeah, there'll be another. You'll notice an expert. Because we're out here to have fun, and we're having a great time. We're having a great time.
It's all about having fun. So we are more joking and having fun than serious, but we will try to talk about serious.
We do take it serious, and we will bring up. We're about to do our first box.
Yes.
Post probably next week.
Boots on the ground. We will do
boots on the ground. We're gonna do our first box with, and that will have a little bit more serious. We'll talk to you about like some of the ways that some of the things we found, some of the things we think are confirmation bias by other people, some of the things that we had confirmation bias for ourselves, and some like there's literally 4 different opinions about where the Appalachian Footpath box is. 4 different opinions in our own circle of people who are reading through this, and we're all having the same
because they all have location bias. So that's the key.
I don't have location bias.
You want it to be in Tennessee. You're like, oh, Tennessee's so close. Vermont, not so much.
No, I actually don't believe. What did I call it? I actually have confirmation. I'm confirmation neutral because I want to believe that all of the clues are good clues until someone's got a box in their hand. And then the clue wasn't bad. If I stay confirmation neutral and you have location bias and maybe Scotty has confirmation bias because he thinks
I have confirmation bias. I'm the confirmation bias guy. Okay?
You are a confirmation bias guy, but you also have a little location bias too.
Yes.
We all have a little bit.
I got a lot of biases. What can I say?
Yeah, that's okay. But I'll stay confirmation neutral because
Absolutely.
I love to hear other people's solves. I'm like, whoa! And I was just saying that about the unofficial.
They're fun.
Unofficial
How
podcast.
people think, they're fun.
Yeah, but that unofficial podcast, the way you guys think is just absolutely different than how I think.
They all think
you guys
differently
talk,
too.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
The Pokemon box. I've actually had to watch it twice because I'm like, France, how did you even get there? How did I not even kind of think about it? Now I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. So I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it, and I hope everybody else is too. We hope that you will like, share, subscribe. If you have a question or comment, or you want to send us an email and say, hey, we don't know what you're talking about, and it wasn't our mother, for those of you who are thinking it. If you want to send us a comment, send us an email at comments@treasurehuntwithus.com.
I'll put it on here somewhere for us.
Absolutely.
Comments@treasurehuntwithus.com.
But send us an email, and know this. Our goal really is to treasure hunt with you. We want to have fun. We want to be part of something. Yeah, we want to be part of something. You're never going to, you may not agree with us. We're going to be okay with it. You might think we're a little crazy, a little wild, a little stupid.
Tell us how,
a little all over
tell me how dumb my ideas are, and we'll see.
Yeah. So. We're okay with that. But we hope you come out, and we'll be out boots on the ground this week. We'll have a new video out about being boots on the ground. And then we'll get you a box out, or another video out about the Appalachian Footpath box in the next 10 days, and it'll all be great. So send us emails. We're here to have fun. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Treasure hunt with us.
Treasure hunt with us.